Namaste, this is Ritu. I have a much often asked question. What is the purpose of life and why do we keep on coming, reincarnating over and over again? Why can't we as souls just live in paradise? I'm going to attempt to answer this question based on my own inquiry for a long time, based on my spiritual experiences, and based on the spiritual wisdom by my Guruji, Swami Mohandas ji Maharaj. And as our Sanatan Dharma also points out, it's a school of philosophy that talks about Advaita Vedanta. Dvaita means two, and Advaita means one. This is a concept that's very hard to understand intellectually. It can be somewhat understood through experience. So, but let me use a hypothetical story to kind of simplify philosophy of Advaita Vedanta. Let's imagine there is a superstar. There is an actor and his name is AB. And he has worked in many, many movies. He has played many, many roles. And he is such a fantastic actor that he has won all kinds of Oscar awards and Best Actor. But he loves his art so much that he never wants to retire. He wants to keep challenging himself to see what different roles he has not done. He always thinks that he has not even scratched the surface of this art yet. So he wants to play a role he's never played before. And in this process, he takes on a role that comes to him of a street beggar. He finds it will really challenge him and it'll bring out areas and artistic capabilities out of him that he's never ever known before. So he joins the studio, but he is told before he takes on this role that this studio that this movie is going to be filmed has certain chemicals in the air that when you enter that studio, you forget who you really are, that you forget that you are the superstar AB and your character's role as a street beggar, let's say we give it a name CD. He thinks that is very challenging. What his part of his role is, as he plays the role of CD, his challenge is to remember somehow that he is actually a superstar, AB, that he is just playing a role. And he thinks, of course, that won't be any problem. I've known all my life who I am, and I am going to take on this role. But there you go. Once he enters that studio, he forgets and he starts playing that role. He thinks now his whole identity is that of CD and that he is a beggar. You know, the challenges that come with having a life of a beggar. He's always hungry. He's always having to be humiliated. People are criticizing him, and he gets these thoughts and beliefs that he is not good enough. All these horrible things are happening in his life, and he becomes jealous of all the other people who seem to have so much more. In that movie, the roles that others are playing, they seem to be having so much more than he is. Why is he having these hardships and all those challenges that come? He starts behaving from that limited conditioning that he has now as the character of that role. He thinks that everybody's out to get him, and that somewhere there is something called God that people keep talking about. Why is God not helping him? And yet he does not remember that he has everything. There is someone who comes and reminds him that, look, don't keep moaning and crying and taking your anger out on people or hitting people or misbehaving with them and creating complications, because you are not this CD character that you are playing. You are actually AB. He says, well, I haven't seen him. Where is he? You keep talking about this AB guy. Where is he? He says, but that is you. And it's like, what do you mean you're crazy? Look at my life. I am a beggar. So what a pitiful life I am leading. And this keeps going on every single day. I come here every day. I don't see the life. Where is this AB? I want to meet him. This person says, you just have to remember, you just have to look inside yourself. You are AB. It's like, no, you're crazy. I have never seen him. Well, take me to his house. And then, but whenever he goes to that house, AB's not there. You are all faking it. You're all fooling me. You're all making it up. You cannot see him because that's you. This all belongs to you. It's like, no, you're just all out to fool me. So, this is what we are saying, what our masters who have already realized what their truth is. So, there is this other person, you can say, another superstar who has achieved everything in his life, and he has mastered the art, and he has won all kinds of rewards. He has everything possible beyond imagination, and he's decided to retire, but he still has a long life to live. So he has so much compassion for these actors who are in this studio to go and remind them, somehow help them remember that you are all superstars here, and each one who is acting in this movie theater, has forgotten that they are the superstars and they are just playing the roles. Everybody's fighting with each other. There's greed, there is jealousy, there is guilt of what I should have done and what I shouldn't have done. And there is shame that I am not worthy, I am not good enough. And all of those limiting, fearful conditions inside, and just always imagining a doomsday and worrying about the future. Everybody's acting very in a very limited way and hurting each other. This is creating a lot of mayhem inside the studio. And there is this superstar who has achieved everything, who's retired, but out of compassion, he has reached that point where if he walks into the studio, he will never forget his identity. So he comes and he tries to remind everyone, and everyone is wanting to have this other superstar to make their life better in the role that they are playing. And he is saying, look, don't worry, this is just a role you are playing. You are never stuck in this life. This is just a limited time role you're playing. And if you let me help you remember, outside of the studio, you are actually the superstars. So this superstar who comes with out of compassion is the guru, who has already mastered the art of not forgetting. He is always 100% remembering who he is. And each one of us are these superstars on this planet, this is that movie theater where we have all forgotten and we this just roles we have taken on. So coming back to what is our purpose is really as simple as remembering who we are and what is our truth. And we are the source. We come from the source as a dream projection, as one who wants to play the role. But at the same time, if this actor who's playing the role of CD, he goes and sees that there are so many other theaters in which all of his different movies are playing. In one movie, he's a king. In the other movie, he's playing a police officer. In the third movie, he's taken on the role of a female and he's playing somebody's mother. And in fourth movie, he is an engineer. And so when he sees that he has been playing, he's existing simultaneously in so many different roles, and that they are all playing simultaneously, then that can also help him remember. Our purpose is to remember and get connected with that bliss. So another part of the question is, why do we keep coming over and over again? Is because the rules of the game, of that universal laws that apply to the game, when you think your identity is that limited role that you are playing, out of that fear will arise, and limited conditioning that keeps telling you you are not good enough, you are not all that you could be. From that comes thoughts and actions and behaviors that cause hurt to other people and hurt to your own self. And to correct that, we keep coming again and again. And why aren't the souls just living in paradise? It's the hell and heaven. That paradise is within you. So it's all this giant mind game. This is just a movie theater. And we've mistakenly identified with this limited role we are playing. We actually exist simultaneously in so many dimensions and so many realities. Even scientists have shown there are unlimited universes, and there's so many other planets and solar systems. That superstar AB is playing all these different roles in different universes and different dimensions at different levels to see, to know its own capabilities. It's like a dream. So when you are sleeping, when you dream, in the dream looks very real. And in that, you could be in pain or you could be rejoicing, having a feast with your family members. And but when you wake up, you see, where did that dream go? It just dissolved into nothingness. And then you say, oh, I was dreaming. I hadn't really met anybody. I was really not in pain. And I thought in my dream many months and years had passed by, but actually I was just sleeping for 2 or 3 hours. And so, the same way, when we awaken, this actor CD, when he remembers that he is actually the superstar AB, then he laughs at how foolish he had been, that he was crying and moaning, that there was nothing he was lacking. And so that was just a dream. That was just a role we were playing. So it's all about shifting the perspective. When you are considering this role you are playing in this human body as the ultimate reality, then there is pain, then there is sorrow, then there is suffering, then there is fear. And this is taken as the reality. But you have heard the word Maya. That's also mentioned in Sanatan Dharma. That is the biggest illusion. When you realize that you were just playing the role, you realize that this was all an illusion. And that is the purpose. And it is causeless. It is just the desire for ever expanding. Some masters have called this God's divine dream. But you are that God yourself. You are that source yourself. And so it's just the joy that you feel. How would you know the bliss? If you are always the bliss, how would you know the bliss unless there's a contrast? If you've always worn white, all you know is white, how would you know what you are always seeing is white unless you see an opposite of it? Unless you see a different color, a black or some other color, that's when you know the contrast that this is white. So the joy and the bliss that you feel reintroducing yourself to your own self, to your own source self, is the purpose of life. I hope this little story helps illustrate a little bit of this point. My Guruji has introduced Yog Sadhana method and connect with that Supreme Master's energy to then remember your own divine truth. You are the formless, unlimited, divine love that is purer than pure, that is indescribable. That's unconditional love is who you are. And for that remembering, we take on this role. In conclusion, I will say masters have said that this planet, this human body, is a very special movie studio in which, because of the contrast, because of the difficulties and the challenges that we go through on this planet, we have the capacity to rise way beyond, across all the different levels and dimensions, to join the source. But it doesn't mean that once we know the identity, we are self realized masters or we are enlightened beings, that we have completely dissolved into nothingness, which is also another question that comes up. Well, what does it mean? It's ultimately just nothingness, which is also called shunya. It is not a dead nothingness like how in our mind we imagine it. It is a thriving, saturated, dripping with love, unconditional love, infinite aliveness, light, nothingness. It is a paradoxical statement, and it's very hard to comprehend by our mind that only thinks in the terms of time and space and linearity. But the truth beyond this mind and mind game is the beyond time and space, where it is everything existing simultaneously. And when you are situated in that truth, you have access to many other dimensions and many other universes where you keep evolving. So it is a causeless enjoyment, causeless divine play of consciousness. And that is what our true purpose is.